Hi guys, welcome back to part 2 of how to paint a miniature for the complete beginner. In the first part of the video we showed you how to paint the miniature up to a certain point. Now we need some extra paints. We need Caribou Crimson, Mournfang Brown, Abaddon Black, Mephiston Red and Krieg Khaki, Ushabti Bone and Pallid Witch Flesh and Stormhost Silver. First of all, I'm going to be painting all the areas that are tentacled or flesh on the Plague Marine. I'm using Caribou Crimson here, neat out of the pot, undiluted. This is going to give all those fleshy areas a nice reddish tone. Now we're going to use a new technique, guys, called dry brushing. It's very important that you use the right brush for this. Here I'm using Games Workshop's Dry Brush Small. Please purchase this brush if you're going to use this tutorial, as it will greatly help you achieve this technique. I applied some of the Krieg Khaki to the brush, and now I'm removing most of the excess paint onto some kitchen roll. It's important that we remove most of the paint, otherwise when we try to start dry brushing, all of the paint will go over the miniature. What we're trying to do is slightly tickle at the miniature as opposed to scrubbing it, and what you'll find is all the raised details and all the lovely details that are on the miniature will start to be picked up and catched with the brush, which will leave nice highlights behind on the miniature. Try to be careful here if you can, and make sure that you stick to just the power armor, and make sure that you don't get any of the Krieg Khaki on any of the tentacles, bone or metallics that we've painted. Now we're going to dry brush some Ushabti Bone onto the bone areas, but I'm only making sure that I dry brush the top 2/3 of the bone, and I'm leaving behind the darker colour towards the bottom of the bone, and you'll start to see a nice transition from a darker colour of bone to a light colour of bone. I'm also dry brushing the base with the Ushabti Bone, which is going to leave a really nice texture behind from that base. I'm going to be doing the same with the Pallid Witch Flesh, but this time I'm only going to dry brush the first third of the bone, so we'll get a really nice transition from dark to light bone. Here I've rolled the bristles of the brush using some Ushabti bone, and I'm just using the very side edge of the bristles just to catch the raised surfaces of the rope on the gun. Now I'm going to be placing some Abaddon Black that I've thinned again once again with some water to place on the casing of the bolt gun. I'm drying the line cloth that's on the Plague Marine with Pallid Witch Flesh. Sorry for the blurry footage, but I'm just painting the lenses of the Death Guard miniature using Mephiston Red. It's important to note that I really rolled the bristles on the brush for the lenses because the slip was really thin. Here I'm using a Ushabti bone just to paint the raised surfaces of the skull on the backpack. Here I'm using Abaddon Black, again thinned down with water, and I'm just using the side of the brush to make sure that I don't catch any of that lovely detail that we've painted on the top of the base. Now I'm going to be dry brushing Stormhost Silver onto the metallics of the miniature. It's really important that the brush is really dry here, guys, and you be very careful with the dry brushing to make sure that you only get it on the metallics and nowhere else, as it will really show up on the other areas of the miniature. And here we have our finished miniature. I think it looks a lot better now we've added a few extra colours to the miniature and some dry brushing techniques. I really hope you've enjoyed this two-part series of how to paint a miniature for the complete beginner. If you've already painted many miniatures but you know a friend that will find this video helpful, please share it, guys. I really appreciate the support. Lastly, a huge thank you to Goblin Gaming once again for providing me all the products for this video. Please check the description box down below and you'll find a direct link to their web store, and this link really helps my YouTube channel. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching this series, and I'll catch you in the next video.